Well,
Right.
according to my clock, it's 6:30 and we all seem to be present. So I'd like to open the meeting. It is May 14th, 2025. And is there anybody here for a public forum? Not hearing anybody. We'll get right to the new business, which um comes kind of soon, but all you new people, welcome aboard. And the first thing we have to do is set up the three offices, which are the chair, the vice chair, and the clerk. So I would like somebody, excuse me, to make a motion, first of all, to appoint a new chair.
I'll make a motion to appoint a new chair.
And we need a second,
I second.
and we need a chair. We gotta come up with a name here.
What is the chair's responsibilities?
Well, mostly running the meeting as I'm doing now. I was the clerk the last time, and since the chair and the vice chair are not there anymore, then the chair has to run the meeting, which does involve a little bit of homework, I guess, before the meeting to know who's coming and what their grief is or pleasure is or whatever, and so that you can run it intelligently. The vice chair's duties are pretty much only to open the meeting when the chair is not present. And sometimes there are meetings to go to which require a chair to be there, or the chair and the vice chair to be there. And the
What, like
clerk,
a town meeting?
well, yeah, that would be one, but that's usually not required. You know, it might be suggested. The chair would go to it, which is coming up next Monday, I believe.
Yes.
So they like to see at least somebody representing the Water Sewer Commission at that meeting, just in case some other person in the audience has a question. We need somebody here who's capable of answering it. I will be going to next Monday night's meeting. I've been on the board for 17 or 18 years now. I started in 2007 and I missed 2 years, and then I came back again last year. So anyhow, we'd like, and the clerk pretty much reads some of the warrants, and not the whole warrant, just the totals of them for paying the bills at the beginning of every meeting. If you look down on your agenda, minutes and warrants of the, be there, the second one on the list. So I don't know how else I can tell you what else they do, except, learn the hard way.
Okay, before I forget, when and where is that meeting you're going to? I'd like to go to.
It's annual town meeting. I believe it's Monday. It's usually at Heritage School. No, is it, which school is
That
it?
is
Heritage
correct.
or the middle? It is Heritage, okay. And it's usually at 7 PM.
Yes.
And that there are two of these meetings. One is in May and the other one's usually in October.
Okay,
And so if you don't like what's happening in the town, there's a good chance to go and either vote for the person that you want, or at least speak your piece about what you think should be done.
okay, thank you.
You don't need to be informed going into those meetings because you can rely on any contentious issue having people show up to give you all the information. They've been very eager to talk about it for a while in many cases.
Mhm.
And I did send everybody a copy of the annual report and what is going to be mentioned. And there is one thing in there, I believe, for the water sewer commissioners.
Oh, waiting for the name for a chairman.
Yep.
To be voted upon.
I would like to introduce a motion for Paul Gagner to be the chair, owing to his long experience.
Does anybody like to second that?
I will second that.
I'll second.
And on these meetings on Zoom, we require a roll call vote, not just saying aye. It has to be done per individual.
Okay, Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye,
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Okay, now I would entertain a motion to elect a vice chair.
Who's
Someone,
the,
if, I
who's
know
the
you don't
current
know each
vice
other.
chair? I'll
Pardon?
nominate them if they would like to do it again.
well, the previous vice chair is no longer on the board, so we're kind of starting from scratch here.
Okay.
Anyone who seems to have a lot of interest in, I know you ran for office, so you have some interest, now that you're elected to that office. But whoever you think might have the most energy to, accept the position. Vice chair doesn't usually require too much unless the chair is absent.
I mean, if no one else wants to volunteer, I will put my name out there.
Same.
Okay, we need a second then for Mr. Tom Coleman.
I second the motion for Tom Coleman to be the vice chair.
Okay, and we're up for a roll call vote.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
and lastly, we'd like one more motion to nominate the clerk. Other than reading some of the warrants and stuff at the beginning of the meeting, the clerk doesn't have a real lot to do, but it is an office that must be fulfilled.
I'll do it if no one else wants to.
Okay, we need
Second.
that, someone make that in a motion and then a second.
I'll move that Robert Coleman be elected chair.
I
a
second
second?
that.
Okay, now Cheryl, would you please, we'll vote on it?
Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
okay, now moving on with the meeting, since I'll be doing the rest of this. We have minutes to approve, but for the most part, there's no need to approve them because you cannot approve them if you haven't been here. And none of us have been here for the April 9th meeting, except me. And we usually require 3 signatures to approve minutes and stuff. So me, and I don't believe that Eric Bernard came to that meeting. So
Correct. I was not. Yes, I
I
was
guess-
not there.
we'll just, whatever you do with them, sure, I'll put them on the table somewhere.
Yeah.
And next, we'll ask for the warrants to be approved. The warrants for this month total $100,906.66. So I'll need a motion. Well, Chair doesn't usually make the motion. I'm used to being the clerk and making the motion all in one time here. So if somebody make a motion to approve those warrants, and somebody else second it, we can vote on them.
I would
I
like to make
reviewed
a-
'em. Oh, go ahead.
I'd like a motion to approve the warrants.
Okay,
I'll second.
Cheryl,
All right, Mr. Gagner,
aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
okay, next, we don't have to do senior abatements tonight, and there's still some fluctuating within them. So move on to, question 4, part E, which is 5 Gillespie Road. 5 Gillespie Road, is the
Excuse me,
building
Paul?
opposite, pardon?
Excuse me, as far as the senior abatements, we need to do the flat and metered.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a figure, Cheryl, do you?
Yes, I
But
do.
you-
The total
you
is
not-
for both.
You don't
The
need
to-
it?
The total for meter accounts and flat rate is $874.91. Somebody needs to make a motion.
Yeah, my error, I do have that written down, Cheryl.
Okay, that's
Yeah, we
fine.
need a motion to approve, the senior abatement flat and metered rates.
Could you please explain what specifically we're approving here?
It's metered, it's for seniors that receive a discount, they get a 15% discount. And we have metered accounts and we also have flat accounts for them. They all have to approve, they have till June 30th for the next fiscal year. But the ones that have already been approved, they get a discount.
Okay. I make a motion to
I'd move
approve.
that second.
All right, Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Robert Coleman.
Aye.
okay, now we can move on to Gillespie Road. This is a property that's on, off of Route 20, adjacent to Dunkin' Donuts. There's a company in there, and the sewer department at one time made an error. The owner picked it up and he asked for an abatement, I believe it was $548.09. And we have no reason to deny him that. It was our error. So, but we still need a motion to abate that amount of money. So I need a motion to abate the money owed to 5 Gillespie Road.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second that.
Who seconded it?
Yes.
Is that you, Rob?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
next we have the monthly operating report. Well, we usually abbreviate it to MOR from Veolia, who's doing the actual running of the sewer plant. And they report to the commission once a month. And I don't know if Vinny is doing it tonight or if there's someone else or more than one person, but whoever it is, Vinny, you're up.
Okay, so I'll be covering the monthly operating report for March 2025. The plant was staffed by myself, Zachary Campbell, Mike DeRusha, and Amy Narcis. We completed Veolia's monthly inspection reports. We worked on the daily focuses. They're all safety topics. We've been doing them daily for a few months now, and we're hoping it sticks. Just making everybody more aware of their circumstances. Compliance for the month, the DMR was entered into the CDX on April 8th. There were no violations to report. The operations and maintenance activities, we replaced the chemical pump tubing assemblies on all the polymer pumps and caustic pumps. They wear out, it's a maintenance item. We cleaned and calibrated the pH probes several times throughout the month to maintain their accuracy. We mounted a new fire extinguisher outside where we stored a propane tank. The propane tank secured to like a fence post. And we mounted a fire extinguisher with a nice fiberglass housing right next to it for safety. We installed a new eye wash station in the chemical room. The previous one was pretty heavily corroded. And on a walkthrough, it was recommended that we update it. We mounted new signs near the plant entrance. One of them is for an emergency meeting spot, and the other one is to tell trucks which way to go. We installed a new sampler head on the Influent composite sampler. We were having an issue with getting a flow paste composite sample, so the electrician checked it out and determined that it was in the sampler head itself, so we ordered a new one and replaced it. There was one day during the month, myself and the team came in at 8 p.m. By that time, our flows are slowing down for the night. And we were trying to install a diversion valve for the UV systems. There was a spot when they put in all the original piping that should have had a valve. They just never put it in for some reason. When we took everything apart, we had to cut the pipe back a little. And the adapter we had was a Megalug by Flange. and the spacing didn't fit the valve we had, so we had to reassemble everything that night. The project's been completed now, but it was a pretty big task and it was a little disappointing we weren't able to complete it on the first go. We brought the town truck in for an oil change and an inspection sticker. We calibrated the 4 gas detector that we used to go into the headworks building. We brought in the scrap metal that was in the yard and turned the cash into Cheryl. We got a delivery of all the grinder pump parts we ordered. The guys organized them and put them into connexes for storage. We organized all of the piping from that Raz and Waz project. We put them on skids. We labeled the skids. We took pictures. We itemized. And we gave that to Cheryl to bring to the town so it can go on Municipid. And we're going to see if we can recover some of the money from there for this project. We went out to 5 Carpenter Hill Road to see what we could figure out what was wrong with the water meter. And turns out the problem was with the MXU. It wasn't with the actual meter. When we tried working on the MXU, we found out that the handheld had an issue. So Cheryl had tech support come out and they actually worked on the handheld and they got it operating for now, but we're probably gonna have to do something with that water meter reader in the near future. The pump station activities for the month, we had FM Generator come out. They were the previous contractor that did the maintenance on all the generators. They came out, I brought them around to every station we have. They took down information and pictures of all our generators. And they provided us with a quote, and we had a few other quotes for performing all the service. At the previous meeting, it was voted on to have FM Generator continue with the maintenance. We cored some holes in the top of the Stevens Park wet well. And that was, we ended up getting new VFDs and new pumps after that station backed up into the houses. And we had the electrician mount some panels on top of the wet well for easier connections for the pumps. So that project all took place during the month of March. LaFleur is the one who performed the electrical work. We weren't able to bury the conduits that the wires were to the pumps because the ground was frozen. So sometime this spring, we'll have someone out there to just bury those pipes. We took 9 loads of sludge to Cranston for disposal. We received 4 totes of sodium hydroxide. There were 2 grinder pump calls for the month. We went to 58 Vine Street. We installed the redundant run. And we went to 125 Sunset Drive and we fixed some bad wiring. That concludes the MOR for March 2025. And this is probably going to be my last meeting representing Veolia. So I've given my notice. I've resigned from my position. They have hired my replacement. I've been training him for a few days. I thought he was going to be on the meeting, but he's not here. He's qualified. He's knows what he's doing. He's been running the Lynn wastewater facility for a few years. And he worked in Holyoke before that, so he's experienced. I'll probably join him on the next meeting just to introduce him. And I'm going to support him from the town side in the future.
Dennis is on the call here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you guys there. Oh, there you are. So Dennis Flores is going to be replacing me. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, Vinny, we thank you very much. And we'll look forward to seeing you in a month. Well, actually, yeah, just about a month.
Yep, starting next month.
And you have anything else, or does anybody have any questions for you? Hearing none, then I guess we can move on with our agenda. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's just somebody not on mute.
Oh, okay. Well, the next thing on the agenda is North Main Street. If you
Excuse
were
me.
at CVS and headed toward the town hall, on your left, you'll notice that there are a couple new duplexes there.
Excuse me, Paul.
Yup,
We have another Veolia issue. Kirk,
Okay,
it's the discussion of a proposal for a third operator.
okay, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't know the timing of that, if that was before Vinny had given his notice, before they have come up with a replacement or anything. And I didn't see why that concerned us. Veolia does what they need to do. You know, they don't need our permission to do it. So if you wanna, either of you, Michael or Vinny, wanna, explain that and see if,
I can,
you know,
I
enlighten
can
us.
address this for everyone. So the staff is currently staffed with a manager of the team, 2 operators, and Amy is an assistant. She only works part-time up to 20 hours a week. So the proposal we have to put forward is for a third operator and to add hours for Amy to cover when Cheryl's on vacation or if there's a sick day or anything. Amy will sit in to fill Cheryl's spot, so it'll be a representative for the town to interact with.
Okay.
As far as the extra operator goes, this plant needed extra staffing for a very long time. And actually, we received a notice of non-compliance about 2 months ago. And in that notice, they call out the fact that there's not enough staffing. And they are having the Veolia and the engineers do an analysis of what it's gonna take to properly staff the facility. So this was us getting ahead of it. If we can hire another operator, which it takes funding to hire another operator, when the analysis is done and it says we needed the other operator, which the facility does, we'll already be in the spot to hire someone.
I was gonna ask, does this change our, I am not familiar with the contract off the top of my head. Is it a fixed fee or does this, how does
This
this
would
impact
be-
the price?
This would be an amendment to the contract.
Okay, so you're actually proposing an amendment to the existing agreement. You're not just proposing a third operator.
Yes. So the
Is it-
previous chair of the commission was on board with this. He knew the facility was
Well, yeah,
understaffed.
but he never read the addendum, right? I mean, I'm sorry to kind of get into the eccentricities, but you're not just saying add an operator. You're saying, I'm going to put an addendum to your contract that has a pricing and other contractual components to it.
Yeah, he understood that. He asked us to get the
How could he
pricing together.
understand it if he never saw the addendum? I understand the reasoning, but where I'm putting a little pressure on is how can we say we understand it and let's move forward if no one ever saw the written addendum?
What?
He understood the problem. He knew there was gonna be a price increase, and that's what we were bringing to the board for the meeting. Unfortunately, he's no longer part of the board, so he has no vote on it. But
Well, how can we, so sorry, just time out. How can this board vote on an amendment to a contract if it hasn't been written, reviewed, or seen the dollar signs? I understand the problem, and I agree with you. There is a problem.
The
The
dollar signs
plan-
are in the proposal. The document should
Yes.
be in your package.
Are they on the second page there?
I don't have your agenda package.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the written proposal was included with your packages, and it does have the amounts of money in there and stating everything.
Yeah, I thought that second page was something else. Sorry. I saw the one page said discussion on proposal of a third operator, and then there was a separate page. But I don't see any dollar signs.
Middle of paragraph, it's about, we've proposed a cost of $129,423 for both the additional service hours for Amy to assist in the front office, as well as a grade 5 licensed operator.
Is that fixed cost or is it time and materials?
It's a fixed cost.
Is that, I'll lean on Cheryl. Cheryl, is that within our budget?
We would have to talk to Ashley about that, because I know the budget is been done and it's going to the town meeting.
Yeah,
Who reviews contract addendums for the town? Who has contractual authority to sign?
I believe Andrew may.
yeah,
Andrew
Andrew
Goulas?
Golis usually has that authority. My suggestion would be to let this go for tonight and maybe take it up next time. Don't forget too, the annual budget is renewable for July 1st. September will end the 2025 fiscal year, and the 2026 fiscal year begins in just another little more than a month. So we would have time on the new budget to put this figure in there before voting on it.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the budget cycle, sorry. So has this been
It'd be my
baked into?
suggestion to let it go a month and let us familiarize ourselves.
Yep.
Everything you said is, to me, makes sense, and it's 100% true. And so we all have to absorb this a little bit deeper before we're qualified to do any voting.
Nope, that's
Okay.
cool. Yeah, and apologies for kind of jumping in like that, but
Just to share, the previous contract, the original contract that we're working operating under, was signed by yourself, Paul, and Russell Jennings, and Dave Cantwell, as well as Andrew. So the board, this contract's with the Board of Sewer and Water Commissioners, but again, the town administrator as well as final authority is, signatory.
got it.
And also
And I'd
then
like to see a copy of the, I'm sorry, Cheryl, I'd like to see a copy of the original contract language just to see how that was written before I'd consider something like this.
Okay, I can send that to all of you tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, just to reiterate, we're currently under the way with the staffing evaluation, and it is likely, we do fully anticipate, again, the DEP was on site. It was cited in a document that the staffing is under, the site is understaffed. So we were getting ahead of this and bringing it to the board for you guys to consider. And once you guys get this opportunity to review that contract, we look forward to coming back to the table next month and discussing this further.
Yeah, that's cool. Will the report actually be available at the same time we review kind of the addendum? I wouldn't want the report. We approve the addendum and then the report comes back and says you actually need 2 more people.
So the current one states we need 2.6 operators. And they get the 0.6 by leaning on the project manager as an operator.
You mean Amy?
No,
Wait.
meaning myself. So I've
Oh,
always been considered 0.6 of an operator as well as the manager, which is kind of a juggling.
oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, as soon as you have a employee out, for vacation or a leave of absence of any sort, you're down to 1 operator, and it's very challenging to manage a facility in that situation.
I just wasn't sure if timing wise, is there any penalty if we don't do something before the report, just to make sure whatever the change is meshes with the report?
I don't think there's a penalty, no. It's definitely a good plan here to get that final report and have a full evaluation. So we have supporting documentation here for that.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I really like the idea of waiting for the report and wait a month and make sure they mesh and what the budget impact is. I'm not sure if others agree, disagree.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay, are we all set with this subject? Do we move on, or you got any more to say? Anybody got something else to suggest or be heard about?
Nope. The only thing to have to say is I know Dennis Flores, he hasn't said much here on the call. He is the new site leader there, and we can get you guys in touch with his contact. So get you down there. Welcome to the board. Let's first start with that for you guys. And I think it'd be a good opportunity to get you down to the wastewater treatment plant and see what the actual operation entails for those who haven't been there. I don't know how many have already seen the site and toured it, but welcome aboard and look forward to working with y'all.
Thank you to them. So,
Thank you.
okay, we'll move
Thank you.
on then to North Main Street. And as I had started to say before, if you were at CVS and headed toward the town hall, these would be 2 new duplexes on the left side. They are asking at this time permission to tie into 1. We don't have any grounds to refuse him. The gallonage he's requesting is certainly within his, but the other thing is, for every dwelling that we put onto the sewer thing, we got either something from Title V, or in this case, it's a fee of $8,200. So since it's a duplex, he would have $16,400 to pay. He has not paid any money yet. So my suggestion is somebody make a motion to let him tie in after we get paid.
I'll make a
I,
motion for that.
To add to that first, I met with the assessors, Ashley from the Finance Committee and Virginia from the Tax Collector. They had all let me know, because I was unfamiliar with the procedure with the privilege fees. Any duplexes on this line, they are to be paid in full, no matter how many they're having. So in this case, it will be 16,400 that Chris Hansen will have to pay before I sign off on the sewer connection.
Is
And
it
this is the-
16,000 per duplex or 16,000 for both?
It's 16,400 for both.
Okay,
For both sides of the duplex, correct?
Correct.
So, and there's a second unit coming beyond that, right? So this is actually a total of 32,000 in revenue.
There's two that are there. Chris, I believe, and he's on, is building one with, Chris, are you on there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, how you doing? Yeah, my name's Christopher Hansen. I am proposing the construction there. We're just in the planning phases right now. I know the sewer runs along the road. My engineer had found the sewer runs along the road. So what we're proposing is it's 2 units. So Title V, it would be 330 gallons per day for a 3-bedroom, 2 units, right? Each unit would service 3 bedrooms. So what we would do is right now we're in the planning stage. So if you get, of course, we have to pay the betterments before we tie in. That's 100% understood. That's not an issue. Right now, I just wanted to make sure as we go along with our plans, because there's other town approvals that are going to be needed. Right now, we just can cross it off the list that you're accepting. If we pay the betterments, that you're accepting that we can tie into the town sewer.
And you know, I made a mistake. I thought we were talking about the duplexes that are already built. So I didn't realize that you were in planning.
Correct.
Yeah.
Still in the planning phase. We just wanted to make sure again that, you know, we have the, you know, we get the okay to tie in once the betterments are paid.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
So
So
who
we'll
wants
need
to
a
make a
motion.
motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I second the motion.
And that's Rob.
Yes.
I gotta get used to your voices. Okay, Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
aye,
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
I
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Okay.
okay, next I would like, we're talking about 4 Oxford Road, which is the new fire station. I don't know if you're familiar with the construction of it, at the beginning driveway of the middle school. They've already started for a couple of weeks now, digging and stuff, and I don't know that we have any, you know, say yes or no to it. Certainly, they're welcome to tie in, but they need our permission to do so. I shouldn't say I need that, but they want us to be aware of it. So what's the voting on this one, Cheryl? Is it to give them permission? I don't think they needed it.
To just approve the sewer connection, to follow procedure on 4 Oxford Road.
Okay,
oh, I'll throw a motion to approve connection of the fire station.
for here a second.
I'll second.
And that was Eric
It was.
Groton. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
aye,
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
I
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
okay, and then moving on, to, a new business, St. Mark's Orthodox Church. They have had 3 parcels of land for sale. 2 of them have already, been talked about. This is the last one now, and I think we have to refuse any right of first refusal or anything like that. I don't know if the selectmen have done so yet, but the first two
Yes.
parcels, they have, okay.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's
waiting
just-
on us.
It's just a matter for us to say that we, as a sewer department, have no interest in that parcel of land. So I guess
It's to make a motion to
yeah,
let the
make a
Board of Selectmen know that we have no need to initiate the first right of refusal of this said property.
I make a motion to that
I'll
effect.
second.
Okay. And that was Eric Bernard?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Gagner,
aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
I,
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
next, we just have a reminder here of the annual town meeting, May 19th. I don't have a time on here, Cheryl, but they're usually 7 o'clock. Is that
Yes,
this one?
yes, it is.
Okay,
7
so,
o'clock, and it is recommended that Mr. Gagner be at this meeting and or Mr. Bernard, along with any of the new members.
any or all are welcome.
Yes.
If you don't show up, there's no penalty. So, and now we have had some meter tampering going on, and at the last meeting, or the one before it, whatever it was, we had came up with a fine after comparing other towns and what they're doing. If you are caught tampering with a meter, but not to be hard-nosed about it, we have given them a chance to amnesty, so to speak, of at least 3 months to come forward and with no penalty involved if there is meter tampering, so that the meters can be straightened out and they're operating in good standing. I believe the letter was put in your packet, and as far as I know, Vinnie is the one who comprised most of it. So I guess we just have to approve it to send the letter out. I need a
Paul?
motion to, yeah,
Paul, you and I discussed this and you were right on that. So we're just doing it from a year to a year.
yeah,
So in other words, April 9th, 2025 till April 9th, 2026.
okay, yeah, it was a little confusing because it said we have granted whatever it was 3 month amnesty or something, and then it talked about a year to do it, so.
Right, yeah. So we took the 3 months out. They'll have they've got plenty of time to get this rectified before we'll start finding them.
So the
So we can-
previous board recommended a 3-month grace period for people to get their meters fixed. And there's a handful of meters that need to be fixed, probably over a dozen of them. And just to get out to each of these and coordinate scheduling, 3 months is kind of a short window. So we thought the year would be a better opportunity. And this really isn't to make money in anything like that. It's more of give the people some time to get them fixed. And then after that point, if we get a notice that somebody's meter's been tampered with, the town has some teeth to do something about it. Most surrounding towns do have penalties for tampering with meters. It's pretty standard practice in the industry. And that's why the board had put this together.
So can I ask, I was on the board from 2000 to 2003, long time ago, but we did have a meter policy. Is there still an overall meter policy that the board has?
I'm not familiar with the entire policy, so I don't know of it off the top of my head.
No, I came on the board in 2007, so probably just after that. But either way, we've got to do something current, and this will suffice for that. We're moving on, or any more discussion on that? Moving on, is Chris McClure here?
Paul, we
Yeah,
need to make a motion on the letter.
oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
I make a
forgot.
motion to send out the letter.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman?
Aye.
Did you say aye?
Yes, aye.
Okay, sorry. Mr. Eric
worries.
Rott,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
okay.
And
now-
Paul, we missed 5E Mass Turnpike McDonald's.
Where the heck am I reading here? Yeah, well, that's why I started asking, is Chris McClure was here
Okay.
tonight.
Okay,
Because Chris would fill us in on the status of that, but Vinny might also be able to fill us in on the status of that. Basically, the Mass Pike got billed several times what they normally get billed. And this 5 East is the one, of course, heading east, and then one on the other side of the highway is 6 West. So 5 East and 5E and 6W are terms you'll probably get familiar with in a short time. So we have checked to see if there's any infiltration in there or if the meter was not reading properly. And we started to get a new meter put in, and the state stepped in, I believe, and said, no, you can't do that. And then blah, blah, blah. They changed their mind and said, yes, you can do that. And so where they had, did they pay the bills on time, Cheryl? So they're looking for-
not the last quarter yet.
Okay, so they're looking for the rebate before they send us the last quarter. Is Vinny, you should be able to fill us in better than anybody on that.
Okay, so there was an assumption that there was either an INI problem or a metering issue. And the previous board had abated 2 prior quarters' bills, stating that they were high bills and they weren't the same as they've always been. So we knew something was going on, but they said that was the last 2 quarters they were gonna abate. They had to put in a new meter and prove that there was no INI and there would be no future abatements until that work was done. They did get a new meter installed, but it was after the quarter they're looking for an abatement for. The new meter that is installed is recording a lot less usage than what the old meter was recording. So the old meter was recording incorrectly. And that's kind of all the information I have, unless you guys have
And to-
specific questions.
To check and compare on that, the 5 West, 6 West station and 5 East station do about quite similar business every month. So we have, we can kind of guess if what they're asking for is reasonable or not reasonable by what the other station is doing. And I believe, I don't know, do we have any figures yet for that abatement? Are we still waiting to get the new meter readings?
We have
Chris-
a list of the new meter readings from the day it was installed. We have access to the software that records it. And me and Chris review it every couple of weeks, and it's been pretty consistent. And I believe Brian put together some figures that represented what that new meter is doing to show the difference between the new meter and the previous.
Okay, so we have some substantial things to base our abatement on.
Correct.
So, okay. So I guess a little time will tell with that.
Do you want to hear from Chris or Brian Owen?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want to hear from Chris McClure or Brian Owen?
I didn't think Chris was here. I asked if he was here. And
Yes.
is he, oh, yeah, certainly, if that's a,
Can you folks hear me?
Yes.
we
all right,
can.
great.
Yes.
Okay. I just have the video off to save some data. But yes, we had reviewed this and Brian Owens is on and he presented a letter. Vinny and I have both reviewed this and we feel that an abatement would be warranted similarly to what was done in the past. Cheryl and I can share some numbers, but But we would recommend, based upon the findings that we've had and everything that they've tried to do to get those flows lowered and the challenges they had with getting the new meter in. But the new meter is working and we feel presenting a much better picture of the usage at the site. So I would recommend the abatement. And so Brian knows, and obviously, and it's been talked about in the past, the abatement, it doesn't include any late charges, that those cannot be abated. So it would only be based upon that current bill. And any late charges that have been incurred, they're still going to be in place.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Any more discussion on those meters at McDonald? Okay, then moving on, Cheryl will be on vacation May 27th to 30th. And I might remind all of you here that after a meeting, we are due into the sewer plant to sign some of these things that were approved tonight. And it takes, I believe, 3 signatures on most of them. We need a quorum on most of them. So I don't know whom of you are available during the day to do this or not, but you can work it out with Cheryl and try to.
Paul,
Yep.
we need a motion on the abatement.
Oh, for the,
Introduce a motion to approve the abatement.
I thought we were
Yes.
waiting for a number on that. Do we have a figure?
Paul, if I could, Paul, in the past, I say if we could follow suit with what was presented in the past, and that was we've evaluated the flows for that period of time, and
Yep.
a reduction of 75% of that flow would be consistent with what we feel was contributing to the what was being sent to the plant.
Okay,
So without getting into the numbers as a whole, if
Yeah.
the abatement would look at a reduction of the flow from just 5E of 75%, then that would be I feel an acceptable and what was previously approved for this application.
okay, thank you, Chris. So, who started making a motion on that? Let's
I think it
continue
was
with it,
Rob.
please.
Introduce a motion to approve it.
A second?
I'll second.
Eric, is that you? Groton?
It is, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, Cheryl,
Okay,
What's the?
Yep.
What's the language of the motion? We're gonna approve a 75%. Like,
Yes,
there's 2 numbers here. $206,000 was the, well, I don't even know what the bill was.
If I could,
Do we have a dollar figure?
Cheryl, do you have the-
If I may, the bill for Q4 was $206,000.
Oh, so we're talking like $150 fix.
Yes, Cheryl, do you have the numbers that we had from the worksheet that we had reviewed?
I have the newer one with me, which that isn't gonna. Hold on, let me check to see if I can get into my remote. I wanna say, I think that might be close.
Okay.
But it's somewhere, it's under a $200 check out the door to the McDonald's, right?
Chris, I can't get on to that.
Okay. Yeah. So Eric, it was a 75% reduction, and I believe it. If the bill was at 206, we were somewhere in the. I don't have them, but it was a 75% reduction in the flow that got us in line with what has been seen historically when this other meter wasn't malfunctioning, and what we're seeing is comparable to the water that's being sold through the water department, and so I know the percentage of reduction. I just don't have the monetary value on that.
It's about $150,000.
About how
Yeah,
much? Sorry.
Brian Owens,
$150,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Based on the
Yes.
200, 75%. Yeah, it'd be like 150. Yeah. So
51,500 is the new bill.
so yeah, they were
Brian
talking about
Owens-
significantly under $200.
yeah, Brian Owens' bullet, his fourth bullet says, Charlton West was charged 58,000, Charlton East was 206. If you give them 75% off of 206, it's less than they paid at Charlton West. It would be 51,005 instead of 58,000 that they paid across the highway. So I don't disagree that we should give them abatement. I just think we need to decide what the number is before we vote on the motion.
We could have it for the next, the key is in order to get that, at least get the abatement discussed. But I will work with Cheryl and get the actual numbers for the, for the commission to vote on, and at least Brian knows that it's being addressed. So, and going forward, obviously, the assessment will be based upon the actual meter readings going forward, from quarter one on. Actually, this is quarter four they're looking for.
Okay.
Is it common for a meter to be off by 75%?
The type of
No.
equipment that was used there is typically used for measuring really large flows. And their flows aren't that big, so it wasn't the best piece of equipment. Its sensitivity, measuring accuracy was to the 1,000 gallons.
And
So if it was off by 10, it was
Yeah.
off by 10,000 gallons.
And the other issue, just not to let McDonald's folks off the hook, the other issue was there was a lot of grease, coming from that site. That basically it's a wear type of meter, and so there was some grease that was backing up in that line, and that of course backed up into the line and into the wear, and so the recording of that wear was artificially high. So they've since committed to doing more frequent pump outs of the grease trap. The line has been jetted and cleaned, I believe. Vinny, is that correct? So
We're actually scheduling it for this summer to jet and clean the entire length.
great.
Because we've had 4 backups, 3 of them related to grease.
Why aren't we measuring the water flow in and not the wastewater flow out?
Because they're rest areas. And there's a lot of customers that are dropping off and maybe not picking up.
Okay.
Is
I
it,
think,
is the proper meter now installed, or are we still
Yes.
using the?
They have a great piece of equipment installed that it has multiple different ways of monitoring the flow. It does it based on pressure and level, and I believe it has a radar in it. It's really complex. It gives a ton of data. It's a nice piece of equipment.
Okay. Thank you.
Can be monitored remotely and viewed on a daily basis as well.
Yeah, exactly. I can dial in from my desktop and see what their flows are for today.
Okay, any other discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll move on. We mentioned Cheryl's vacation is May 27th to 30th.
Hey,
And-
Paul?
Sure.
Paul, we got a motion in a second and we didn't vote on it. I think we've got to either, we all have to
I
vote.
thought we were
We have to close it out.
Well, next month till we had a figure on it.
Yeah, do we need to make a motion to delay it to next month or something? What's the official? No?
I don't think.
We
I don't
either
think we-
make an
Okay.
amendment.
I would make a motion to put it off till next month because we started to make one. That way you all will have the correct numbers for the fourth quarter.
I
All right, I'll
second.
make a motion to defer this to next month.
No, sorry. I second.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
you all set, Cheryl?
Chris, if he has anything for the Route 20 project?
Yeah, if I could, Paul, DW White is in the process of, reclaiming or milling and, putting the pavement down in the, affected area where Route 20 reconstruction has been ongoing. The water department, the water infrastructure we've reviewed during the course of this construction, but, there is a vault, in Oxbow Road. And it's a subgrade vault, concrete vault. It has a 4x4 access on the top of it, and it had a hatch that has been torn up over the years. And when they went to remove that hatch as part of this pavement reclamation, it's to the point where it's destroyed and cannot be reused. So they have called Nick, and I've been working with the highway department relative to this. But I would like to. We have to move on a replacement hatch immediately. It's not going to be covered under the DW White under the Mass DOT roadway improvement, because it's infrastructure that the town had that was damaged prior to. So we have to make a decision on the purchase. And I've called a couple of manufacturers and quickly, because they're actually going to be paving within the next few days, but the final course doesn't go on for 30 days. So, but in order to get this this equipment ordered, I'm going to need approval. Maybe the chair could be awarded a position where he could approve a purchase of this equipment. It's probably under $10,000, but it has to be H20 loaded. I don't have the actual numbers now because I just got thrust into this conversation because this is all coming to a head, of course, immediately. But we can't put off the purchase because otherwise they're going to bury this access 8 inches under pavement.
So this
So,
is
Chris-
emerging. You need it approved today in order to, this couldn't wait a month.
No, it cannot wait a month. I need the authority to make this purchase, to get it on order, because there is some lead time. And that lead time is, saying 2 to 3 weeks. So I have to have that in the yard, ready to go when they come in to do this final cutting. Now, of course, this water system we haven't been used since it was installed, but we don't want to have it buried underneath pavement and have to open this thing up, in the future. We like to maintain the access to this subgrade vault that you currently have.
This is the
Oh, you're-
interconnection between Charlton and Oxford?
It's a pressure reducing vault, I believe, Eric, down that they installed down in Oxbow Road. Now, because that water system hasn't never been on, I haven't actually been in it. I will get down in to get some photos, but Nick has seen it. Nick's on the same. Nick's been trying to get something done there as well. And again, I've been pounding the pavement to find something that will fit. It's 4x4, so and I need an 8-inch riser, so it's fairly unique. It's not just a standard manway access, And it's got to be H20 loading. So I think I'm going to be sourcing it out of a company that provides Eversource materials, where they have these same type of accesses.
Is this a case where we could approve the purchase up to 10,000 or something like that?
I would hesitate to do that. Chris estimated it's going to be about 10,000, but what if it comes in at 11 and we've only
Yeah.
approved, not to
Nope.
exceed 10? I think we're getting into trouble that way.
I got you.
But we still need to make the motion, and so go ahead and
Should we be safe if we approve it up to, say, 20, just to give a
Well,
huge margin?
does Chris think that's certainly adequate? I do, but
Yeah, I feel that would be adequate, and I'll tell Cheryl as soon as I get. Again, today was all about sourcing it and ensuring that we were gonna, they have a plan for tomorrow night when they'll be starting the pavement. I got to get a plate down there and get the thing marked out. But I think 20,000 would be adequate.
Yeah, I just hate that some company, oh, good, we can charge up to 20,000, you know? I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
give them a go ahead for that, but, as long as it's, kept kind of secret, so to speak. On
Yeah,
this
yeah, of course,
public
yes.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody like to make such a motion?
Well, I'd just like to say in context, it's pretty clear we're just giving a large leeway to make the decision with what's available, but that is by no means a minimum. That's just, okay, we're giving an excessive margin just in case to avoid having an issue.
Yes, yeah.
Time
Is,
issue.
is there no recourse if we feel we're getting overcharged?
Well, the supplier is EJ, and they're they've been in business since 1881. He told me he's going to take care of us. And we are limited by them and Ferguson, which they do a lot of work. So with the town and with municipal bidding and stuff like that. So they're very reputable, and really they are the only game in town. But they understand. Hey, we did doing what they can to make this happen in the short period of time that I'm at for it. So
Well, and Chris, you're in essence acting as our agent from the
Yeah.
town, right? So we trust you to negotiate a proper price. We're just setting a limit that it's under 20.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, may I have that motion, please?
I introduce a motion to give up to $20,000 to be spent if
Yes,
need be.
You already said it, I think, but,
I
and a second.
I second.
Okay,
Eric.
Cheryl?
Eric Bernard, you second it?
I think it was actually
Tom Coleman.
Yep.
Tom? Okay, sorry.
Thank
All
you.
right,
sorry.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Sorry, I have to recuse myself because EJ is my grandfather.
okay, Mr. Eric Bernard,
Aye.
and Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye. I'm glad we all took our ethics classes.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the new board members. One thing, if I could put it out there, the Steve Gregoire, who's the operator at the Southbridge Water Department, he would like maybe get on the next agenda to introduce himself, as he's a water provider to the town, and just to be there to open up communication if people had questions for him. He did ask me to mention that to you all.
Sure, I think Cheryl can arrange that.
Does that need a motion?
I don't believe so, but do you think it does? I don't, but.
No.
No,
Just put up
the
agenda.
chairman gets to set the agenda.
Well, I see no need for a motion for him to occur. Cheryl usually sets up the agenda and before any motions are made, so. And our meetings are usually the first Wednesday of the month. This month, it's the second Wednesday tonight because we wanted to make sure you people had a chance to sign in so you could vote and everything. And next month, the next meeting will be June 11th. I don't know the reason for the second week there. Cheryl, you might know the reason.
Due to the fact I'm on vacation the week before, I will not have time to get everything out
Get
to you guys.
Okay, well, that makes good sense. So next month will be the second Wednesday, but after that, we'll, barring other circumstances, we'll go back to the first Wednesday of every month at 6:30 on Zoom. Now, if that all said, is anybody, anything else to contribute or ask for tonight's meeting of anybody that's still here? If not, I
I
would
just
ask,
I just have a question because I'm not used to the format. I'm used to the meetings going a motion, a second, and then discussion before there's a vote. And this has been motion, vote with not an opportunity for
Oh,
discussion in there. So
quite
is that
correct.
typical?
Probably could, no, it's probably due to my rustiness. I haven't been chair for 6 or 7 years or something like that. I really don't want the job, but I probably am the most qualified. But the next meeting, I'll keep what you said in mind. There should be discussion.
Okay.
But on the other hand,
Okay.
you've all had opportunity, I think, to just speak up and discuss something
Yep.
if you needed to.
A lot of the
Yep.
discussion
I
has
didn't want to
taken
interrupt
place
the
ahead
normal
of time.
flow. So. Yeah.
You know, we'll have the discussion and then the motion.
Correct. And then
Yeah,
vote.
so it's supposed to be, you know, get the motion in there and then discussion. That's the way Robert's rules are supposed to work. So it's just been that way that I've always
That's
worked that way. And if we want to change it for this group, I'm okay with it. I just,
Oh, no, that's correct, and we should do it according to Robert's rules.
okay.
And I'll have to take the blame tonight, so.
No blame. Just want to make sure I'm in the flow.
Yeah, first time.
Okay, well, I thank you.
Everyone have a
Oh,
great night.
we need a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Who's making the motion?
That was Eric
Any
Bernard.
discussion?
Yeah.
So not to adjourn, so.
And who's seconding it? Who seconded it?
Tom?
I will,
Second.
yes. I
Yeah,
second it.
I thought you got-
Okay. All right, Mr. Gagner,
Aye,
Mr. Tom Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Eric Bernard,
I,
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Okay,
being adjourned.
All right, goodbye.
night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't forget to stop by and sign papers.